It's a Godwinson Live News Alert. It's a very special one. It's the 5th episode of the Kino Casino, the real thing, the real McCoy, the authentic article where we're upside down. That's right, folks. We're going to be upside down for moments during the stream, specifically when the script is flipped. But 7 rules we obey here tonight. And for something as special as our 5th episode, we're going to be sniping. We're going to be doing a bit of sniping, and then after the snipe, we're going to be looking at where they are now. So I teased in the last show that we'd be looking at where they are now, but I completely forgot about it. It just fell off the agenda. But it's still on the agenda, right after Angie finishes this elephant. What's she making, folks? Shall we see how this turns out? Alright. So you might be thinking, this is done. This is a finished elephant. Truly. No, you'd be wrong, because there are still 13 minutes left of the video, where she intricately draws the mouse's ears over and over and over again. It looks very nice. Looks pretty. But there are still 20 minutes left of the video. I hope I'm not got a sniffly nose, folks. I feel a bit better. I don't feel as under the weather as I did yesterday. So shall we spin the wheel? Alright, so, this, that, and we'll just get right into meat and taters. Let's get right into it. So, it's a summer chill, I don't know. Every year I get this. I did think at one point I had hay fever, but it's not. Genuinely, it's like a summer chill or some shit. It's kind of tough. But we need to talk, folks. We need to talk. And what I want to do is cover as much of this as my head can take. And then we'll look at where they are now. Completely unrelated to Schizo Elaine. But I feel that, I mean, I've not watched any of this. I've watched a minute of this where it's technical difficulties. So this might be technical difficulties abandoned, or there might be some genuine worth here. We're only really talking about this and looking at this A, for answers on the starfish and the leak thereof. 2, for what's been happening, because Elaine's interacted with Wesley Crusher, who floss danced his way over the Starship Kiwi farms. Of course she's involved. And then we'll look at where they are now. But what I want to do especially with this, I've noticed when Elaine drinks someone's blood, she pauses in true showmanship style, but she doesn't realise it yet. So what I want to do is every time she drinks someone's blood, I'm going to do a little bit of Kino Dogme 2007. So we'll see how this goes. So,
apologies to every single person who just spent a minute watching nothing. Okay.
Never apologise for that.
First topic. I'm not going to do a face stream because something fucking tells me that whenever I do that, it for some reason slows down the whole fucking stream.
I reckon she has that a lot, folks. I reckon when she's looking in mirrors, they just suddenly start to crack. I reckon a lot of technical difficulties are happening because of Elaine's visage. I'm glad she's come to the realization.
Like, the whole stream just slows down. I don't know why that is, but, like, until I've solved that problem, there's 0 point. So we're gonna do, like, a fucking stream on everything. So you have to render your whole face to the AI. Oh, fuck, yeah. Forgot about that. So we're gonna do a stream on everything that people want to know.
On everything? It better be everything. It's still just this, folks.
The first thing that
I mean, I can get something appropriate up if you wish. Okay, bear with me. Can I show this? Is it too wild to literally just have Elaine Starfish on the stream as she's talking? One, you decide. Is that too wild, folks? I mean, I remember back in the day where, I mean, it was just sort of okay to do this. People are saying it's not too wild. So let's do it. Let's do it. I don't even think I've got it on the PC, to be honest. So I don't even want to go looking for it, is the thing. I can probably show... Okay. All right. So we've got Elaine's prolapsed asshole. And we're just going to show it on the stream as she's talking. Are you ready? Now, you have been warned, and because we give no shits about the channel, because it's in the true service of the Kino Dogme, we'll play the stream, and
I'm gonna try and
it's Elaine Starfish, folks. Blown out, ridden through, that should be better. Wipe, shave. Here you go.
Right. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the Discord screenshot. If I'm lagging, I'm really
the Discord screenshot, folks. The Starfish.
I don't think it's lagging, but for some reason I always think that, and everyone has a go at me for it. Okay, let's start with the first
She
thing.
does need to shave.
The Discord screenshot.
And wipe.
The one that, for some reason, has caused...
This is the Discord screenshot, by the way.
A lot of fucking issues for the fact
I've got a really great idea. You'll just have to bear with me. 1 second.
I don't understand why this is a thing. Okay, so, long story short, I have a Discord server. It's called the Cabal. It is incredibly fucking insane. There are so many people. No, I'm not a... Who?
And wipe.
Greek, you know who I am? Fuck. There are so many people who are in my server. Like, we have Vordrak, we have Zoom, we have Godwinson. So, because there are so many people in there.
Right.
I am not...
We have Vordrak, we have Zoom, we have Godwinson in the server, and now, folks... Now... we have the Neat Samurai. So this is Elaine's server. I'll scroll through this fast, but you can all slow it down and partake and do whatever the fuck you like afterwards. What's this one? General Private. Let's go, folks. Ride the tiger! Welcome. Rules? I think that's the whole server. So that's her server, folks. Probably the most juicy part of it, but I'm not seeing anything that pertains to anything relevant or decent. Let's continue.
No, I'm not a... Who? Greek, you know who I am? What the fuck? There are so many people who are in my server. Like, we have Vordrak, we have Zoom, we have Godwinson.
Show members list. Look, I will try. I don't know how I do so, but I will try. Members list. Is that the members list? I think... I don't know what this is, to be honest. I think that's the members list, isn't it? Alright. The members list. Okay.
So, because there are so many people in there, I am not online 24/7.
Lying
I
bitch.
cannot be in there when everyone else is talking.
I mean,
all the
come on.
time. Because there was a lot going on for a few days, and I didn't see everything, and I don't know how this happened, and I don't know why this happened. But I see, like in the welcome channel, like a new person has joined. And this person called themselves Reality.
Now,
So
isn't Reality Wesley Crusher who
and then I fucking,
floss dance his way through the Kiwi Farms?
And I saw that this was the person who supposedly hacked Kiwi Farms. So obviously I was like, okay, I need to talk to this person.
Knowing that he was
now
a
this
child?
person said they were 14. And I had to confirm that. So I said, how old are you? And they said they were 14. So obviously banned from the server.
Right,
But
so she just
first,
instantly banned them.
I asked them shit.
No.
And then I
There was a
screenshot
conversation
them
that
so
took
people
place,
could see
Moon
what I was
style.
saying. And I basically said, did you hack Kiwi Farms? Because I literally don't know. No, I did not send Why would I send him CP? I didn't know.
I need some pearls. I've got all of the props. I've got some toilet paper for her to wipe.
So I asked him, and he was
I've
like,
got a
yeah,
flame
I
for little
hacked
Andy
you.
Jr.
And
I've got a
I
PS5
basically
controller
went
to
on
hold up the
say,
phone.
Josh is an
I've
asshole.
got some
Why do you
lem
trust him?
sips. I just
And
need, like, pearls.
this
I've got this
guy
fucking
started, like,
sick-ass
ruthlessly
lamp
defending Josh. And he
that
was
we'll
like,
wheel out for
yeah,
the Brian
Josh is
zone.
really
But
chill,
I just need
really
some pearls to clutch.
understanding.
Don't
I
I?
linked him to my friend. I didn't link him to CP.
We have to pause it. She linked the child to her thread, which hosts the mega that we've all seen. I mean, like, is it just me? She links the child to the thread, but I suppose she'll just keep going.
I linked him to my thread, and now he's in my thread. So there's not really much I can do about that. But anyway, he basically started to say that Josh was really understanding and really chill and all of that stuff. And I was like, do you know anything about this person?
Really understanding, really chill. You know why he's saying that, Elaine? Because he's on the payroll. Now Wesley Crusher, the guy who floss danced all over the Kiwi Farms and who got paid 5 XMR, which amounts to $800 by Josh. He's on the payroll, folks. This is your new top moderator on the payroll. Trooned out space outfit as well. Literally floss darts over there. He's a chill guy, according to Jush. Structured morally.
Why are we baiting in the comments? And I was like, does anyone like know?
Right the tiger!
I want to inform this person, Reality, on Josh. And Reality was
Why don't just ban him on site, Elaine?
like
It's a
completely
child.
unreceptive to like anything that all of us know already. Okay, so this guy was like, no, Josh is really chill. You don't understand. He's
On
a
the
really nice
payroll.
guy. And I was like,
He's
you
the best guy.
haven't read anything. Like,
Because he's on the
no-
payroll now, moderating
And,
the site, Elaine. That's why
He
Josh
got
is now a
mad.
trill.
I
chill
literally
guy.
was trying to say to this child,
Josh might well be a trill guy. Is there a symbiote, folks? Is there a worm being transplanted from host to host? Josh might well be a trill guy.
talk to Josh. Like, I will block you after this because I don't want to fucking talk to you either. But don't talk to Josh.
So bear in mind, we're going to be doing a segment where every time she drinks someone's blood, we're going to do some Kino Dogma 2007. Now, we've missed a couple, but I'm not going to miss any more. So bear with.
He's 30. and you're like 14. So
Okay, we can't miss that one, so let's do this again. And you know how she pauses when she delivers the lines? Let's listen.
he got mad at me. I literally was trying to say to this child, don't talk to Josh. Like, I will block you after this because I don't want to fucking talk to you either. But don't talk to Josh because he's 30 and you're like 14. So
Drop. Drop.
child, don't talk to Josh. Like, I will block you after this because I don't want to fucking talk to you either. But don't talk to Josh because he's 30 and you're like 14. So don't do that. Just an idea. And this kid was completely unreceptive and was sort of like,
I wonder why.
yeah, he was lawless. He was so unreceptive and he was like, no, Josh is really chill. And then he blocked me and I thought, okay, that's the end of that. Don't really care. Don't really want to talk to a kid anyway. So,
But you did want to beforehand, for a while. And it took literally Wesley Crusher to make the initiative block. Kind of fucked this whole interaction.
Not don't talk to Josh, talk to me. Don't talk to anyone. Like, just don't talk to these people. They're like all insane adults.
Painkiller!
He basically was like, okay, right, so he's blocked me, I don't care, whatever. I go onto my server like a day later and I've been asleep. I've been asleep for a long amount of time and I just
Hibernates like a fucking squirrel or some shit.
see thousands of fucking message notifications. And I was like, what is this? And this person, Reality, this literal child, had to join my server again. I couldn't ban him the first time because he had already left before I could ban him. So he joined my server again with all of his friends. And they're all just like fucking spamming the server. I had no idea what was going on. And so I joined and I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? Who are... So Reality is in the server fucking with his like friend Flames. There was another one. There were so many of them. There was one called like Ghost Sec, I think. Ghostbuster.
Ghostbuster.
There was Stealth. And there was Zen.
Zen.
And they were all in there spamming the server. So I literally was like, straight up, how the fuck old are all of you guys? Like, I know Reality's 14, so how old is everyone else? And it was really weird, because some of them were like 16, and some of them were like 22.
No.
So I was like...
No, isn't it always the way,
that's a child,
ladies and
like,
gentlemen?
First of all, someone explain what's going on. So after I had an explanation from like one of them as to like what the whole thing was about, I banned all of them because they were all children. So I didn't want them in my server. So I literally just hit ban, delete post history. And this made Reality really fucking mad.
How mad could
really
a 13-year-old boy literally get?
He banned me because I was...
The rage.
I can't nuke the entire server over like
you could.
3 people. Like,
I mean, it might be worthwhile,
again?
Elaine, to literally nuke the entire server. I mean, this is your server. I think there's an option here where you can literally nuke it. I mean, we can leave it. All right. Anything else anyone wants before we disappear? All right. But I think there's an option just above leave server where you can delete it as well. Leave server. How did I find the Cabal? Other. Thanks for your feedback. It helps us improve Discord. Okay.
So anyway, he got really mad that I'd banned him, and he started spurging all over Twitter about me.
Whoa.
Being like, you're mad, you reported me. I didn't report you. You're a child, so I banned you. He got really annoyed. Anyway, this is where stuff gets interesting, guys.
It better.
For some reason, this 14-year-old child decided to join Kiwi Farms and like start posting in my thread. Now, I don't give a fuck.
I wonder why, you stupid bitch. You literally sent him the link to your thread upon initial... First contact was you sending him the link to the thread that's filled with your pornography. I wonder why. Like, come on.
Child. Like, there's only so much anger I can have at a kid, you know? Like, I just thought, oh no. Like, bro, You're gonna have like a really bad life if you like have discovered Kiwi Farms age 14. Like this is
Rich coming from Elaine.
Please leave now. So I basically emailed Josh, and I was like, first of all, you'll be.
I emailed Josh. Do we all just email Josh? Do we all just have regular emails with Josh? I emailed Josh. Why is this a thing? Why do they all have his email address? I emailed Josh.
Being baited, like this guy is outing all your DMs with him. And secondly, he's a child. Why do you have a kid on Kiwi Farms? So I basically said to Josh, ban the child because he's on Kiwi, like he's literally in my thread now. Why didn't I wipe?
Fuck.
I don't know, man. Anyway, Josh has very little.
You can't just stop there. Why didn't I? This chat's brutal in Elaine's stream. I can't lie.
Child, because he's on Kiwi, like he's literally in my thread now. Why didn't I wipe? I don't know, man. Anyway, Josh has very little.
It's literally this shade of brown as well.
So I basically said to Josh over email, why is there a child on the farms? Like, I don't care that he's right.
Use it, Elaine.
He is a kid. Like,
use it.
Like, why is this so... Why is this just okay? Like, why is everyone just like, yeah, no, it's fine that a child is on Kiwi Farm? So I was like, so I basically said...
Holy diver!
You need to ban the kid. I thought
Midnight Sea.
Like in my mind, Josh didn't know that the Elon Musk is based. I thought that Josh didn't know that the kid had joined Kiwi Farms. I was wrong. So I go on.
He's on the payroll, Elaine. What do you expect? The kid is modded. He's on the payroll.
I go onto my thread.
He's stopping explosions on the Starship Enterprise now.
In my thread, and
modded.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I basically go onto like the recentest page, and he has admitted
the recentest page. Clearly, I think the British public school system has failed, Elaine. The recentest page. It's most recent. It's the most recent page. All those years wasted. All those years wasted. Was it all for naught, folks? Just spending my youth, my early 20s. Was it just wasted? Trying to teach English when it's literally the recentest now, is what the kids are saying. Skids, recentest, neutral.
This is a child. And I was like, okay, why did...
Before Godwinson and I had never seen or heard of anuses. It's truly the end. I'm the gatekeeper of the anuses in the sector, folks. And I'm about to unveil one right now. So, it's spread wide. You're about to see a new anus, folks. It's a new anus. There we go. Anus, gatekeeper of the gatekeeper. Primarch of Cow. Leader of the Neat Samurai. Teacher of the Kino Dogme 2007. The gatekeeper. Fresh gape. Fresh gape. Wipe it. Wipe it and shave it.
Do you allow this child onto the forum to look at like pornography? Like the whole thing was just like glowing. I have an orb thing.
What?
Yeah, surely not. So essentially, I was like kind of shocked because this child was basically admitting to having.
No, I think there's two jokes in the stream, Daimo. You're welcome for the only joke. I'm the stream. I think the second joke is your appalling spelling, my friend.
All the nudes, and also saying that he was 14. He literally said, like, go to the last page of my thread, everyone. This kid says, I'm 14, and I looked at the nude. And I was like, oh my god. So at that point, I literally just...
I wonder why you looked at the nudes, Elaine. You literally linked your thread on First Contact Wesley Crusher was coming out of the Vulcan starship. You were his fucking Zephram Cochrane in First Contact. And you literally greeted him, not with a Vulcan salute of peace. You greeted him with a link to your thread that's full of whatever it is. Your megas, your pornography. I wonder why.
Disengaged from the entire thing. I just, like, the whole thing was just a bit gross, so I didn't really want anything to do with it. And he continues to try and bait me. I linked to my thread. I didn't link any page apart from the OP, like page 1. He joined to start posting in Josh's defense originally.
He's on the payroll.
He starts posting
That's why.
these DMs with him and Josh. And it was just very strange. And I'm thinking, why is Josh just okay? Like, Josh has spent 10 years being like the most paranoid man alive.
Shivering in the
only to have his
Siberian wilderness.
Discord name and DMs outed by some 14-year-old boy
Only to be felted by Wesley Crusher.
who hacked his site. Like, really? Like, you spent 10 years in, like, desperate paranoia, and then the person that outs... The person that ends up fucking... the person that ends up BTFOing Josh and his privacy is like, a 14-year-old child who hacked his site. What? Okay, so then I proceeded to basically disengage powerful ESP that goes on. So I decided to disengage, and this child continued to try and bait me in my thread, and he took screenshots of, like, things
Your
I
conversations
posted and tried
with
to
this
link some sort
kid.
of subliminal meaning to them. I didn't link him. Why did you link him a thread of your nudes in it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Why'd you link him a thread with your nudes in it if you didn't want him to see them? Why do it on First Contact, Elaine? That's sufficient. We'll give you warp drive. We'll lift you out of the nuclear apocalyptic society that you're in, humanity. We'll give you warp 2. You can join the Federate. That's all it's required.
Asked for the thread link, so I linked him to the OP. And in complete fairness, it's like... I sent him a link to a thread that didn't, to a page that didn't contain nudes.
Liar.
It's literally not in my control where he goes after that. Like, it's just not in my control. Like, it wasn't smart, but it literally isn't in my control.
Never
like,
is
he could have
smart.
already gone on the forums and looked it up anyway. Like, it's literally not really my problem. But what is...
That's done with the same delivery as It Is What It Is. It Is What It Is Elaine's not my problem.
It literally isn't in my control. Like, he could have already gone on the forums and looked it up anyway. Like, it's literally not really my problem.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Is when he can see that this guy is 14 and posting in my thread, to probably ban him at that point. You know? Like, if he's first, last, bro, I don't know what you want from me. You're literally making shit up. Like,
be right back. Be right back, folks. I mean, was she blown out in the same manner as a starfish is blown out? Be right back.
I could have told him to,
This is a probing investigation. Damn right. We're going deep.
Like, literally not in my control. Like, I'm not gonna be...
Holy day there!
Like, sending a link to an OP, to, like, an opening paragraph.
You've been lost too long in the midnight
It's
sea.
just not my problem. Like, it just isn't. So...
What's becoming of me?
This guy has spent the last 15 hours trying to bait me into talking to him. Or
Well, it's literally working, isn't it, Elaine?
This person who
15 hours good work from Wesley Crusher from the Starship Enterprise.
Trying to get me to say something. Like, he
15 hours and now he's got you spurging out on your
attention
stream.
seeking constantly. He is... Oh, hello, Damo. He is now in my thread. This 14-year-old is in my thread.
Isn't it Dymo?
Saying that he saw pornography and that he's 14. He is saying...
Tell me Dymo ain't simping in this chat. Please.
Josh is just okay.
Damo. Damo.
As usual.
Damo,
Like,
command you want.
People keep saying to
Demo.
me, maybe if you were fat, Josh wouldn't have rejected you. Maybe if I was a child, Josh wouldn't have rejected me.
Oh, we'll do that again.
He is saying this in my thread, and Josh is just okay with it.
We're waiting for our golden moment.
As usual.
Or we flip the script.
So, people keep saying to me, maybe if you were fat, Josh wouldn't have rejected you. Maybe if I was a child, Josh wouldn't have rejected me. I feel like we're at that stage. Anyway, there was a screenshot from my server, where everyone has been bringing this up. This was posted by Warhammer. Warhammer, who admitted to watching child porn.
Warhammer, who admitted to watching
that screenshot. So I really sorry. I'm gonna have to delete the other stream.
So now Warhammer's being blamed for the starfish. It's Warhammer's fault for. So Warhammer's apparently made the starfish, or he's made a screenshot. What is it? I don't have the screenshot, but it's the screenshot where Elaine hesitates on banning a pedophile from her server. Okay.
Confused as to where to go.
Still no answers on the starfish, by the way.
Like Mormon Shaggy. We are gonna do a stream on Godwinson and Josh, but like honestly, I just need a scene, okay? So,
Is this not it? We're not watching more.
The screenshot that was posted where I don't know, it ended up on Godwinson's stream, where supposedly I defended pedophiles. That was literally created by Warhammer, who is a fucking pedophile.
Whoa.
So I don't really understand why no one checked the legitimacy of the source. But it's Kiwi Farms.
No.
So I'm not surprised.
Whoa. You see how she pauses for these opportune moments and just waits for the... She needs to be accompanied with some metal music.
I think fat kids are what Josh goes for. Yeah, we've got them both in there. Yeah, he goes for fat people and children. That's the Josh combo.
The Josh combo, folks. Fat people and children, that's what he goes for. The Josh combo. Josh combo. Josh combo time.
Was in the other video. I was kind of hoping you would blah blah blah. Isn't porn on KF supposed to be hidden from people without accounts? Why is a child able to make an account? Yeah, so that was my point.
Because he's on the payroll. He's being paid money by Josh, and now he's being modded on the site.
Was posting in my thread.
Josh Combo, fat kid, fat Wesley Crusher, true now.
He posts on Twitter.
Highly qualified to run the site.
His IP is in.
It's all it takes. It's the only CV you need to have. You own one of these real True Nut rainbow shirts, and you look like a fat Wesley Crusher. That's what it takes.
Apparently, children are okay on KF if they, I don't know,
get paid by Josh.
Hack the site. What is the logic? Like, why?
The logic is Josh is paying him.
Explain to me why
5
this child
XMR
is allowed on Kiwi Farms, because I don't get it. I don't
on a
understand
monthly
it.
stipend, I imagine. Weekly stipend, people are saying. Why not?
Josh was my wife for a year. I pity you. Josh has his Neko Shotter apprentice.
What is that?
Yeah, Josh got Fortnite.
What's Neko Shotter apprentice?
By a child, and Fortnite danced on. Josh has his Neko Shotter apprentice. Yeah, Josh got Fortnite danced on, like, by a child.
It's fucking tough, Josh. Josh got Fortnite danced on by a child. Okay.
And, now the child is his Neko Shotter, and we're all gonna have to witness, everyone,
Some
we're gonna have to
nonce
witness...
shit, probably.
We're all gonna have to witness Blocklands. Blocklands Part 2.
Blocklands Part 2.
Yeah, that's the level we're at, apparently.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving
I
on.
have this new person from the Fuddy.
Is that all we've got? Is that all we've got, Elaine?
So, anyway. This person faces who all are schizophrenic. And it's really old. Is mostly a persona. And Godwinson. Does Damo have older cousin energy? Absolutely.
Whoa.
Are you angry with Godwinson? It's really difficult to be angry with Godwinson.
What?
Because I know that a lot of the shit that he does in public is mostly a persona.
Now, wait a minute.
Godwinson looks for content. He looks for content. And it's really difficult for me to be mad at him when a lot of it is just for the sake of entertainment. That being said, it wouldn't hurt for him to do a bit more research before...
Fuck you. My research is gold standard. I've got a fucking writer's room supplying me with my research. So my research... Fuck you, bitch. Your research is literally suboptimal. You don't even know what, like, Daimo is. You don't even know what a Gahool is. You call him Gahooli because you can't speak. Like, can you say Persip's name? Do you actually know what Squire is? Do you know who PPP was before he trooned out? Do you know the esoteric messaging when we scream... for Andy Jr. and stay back. Stay the fork back. When we go, I don't necessarily co-sign that one, Gator. Psychologically breaking me, Gator. Do you actually know what any of this is? Don't say my... 11 years research embodied in one man. That's what research is. Fucking dumb bitch.
I don't know. Elaine, can you mod me? Fuck it, why not? Okay, give me a sec.
Yeah. Modding kids, I assume. Modding Ham. Unfortunately, Cat Simpboy doesn't get a mod. Daimo's a mod. It's Daimo and Ham that are mods in this chat. It's tough. It's real tough. It's really, really tough. Simpmo, ladies and gentlemen. Simpmo indeed. But this actually isn't an Elaine stream, by the way. Because now we're going to be looking at where they are now. We left it off the agenda last time, but I want to do it today. Where are they now, folks? Because we are Holy Diver. We're going to be lost too long in the Midnight Sea tonight. We're going to ride the tiger. All right, folks, so where are they now, folks? Where are they now? I think Elaine is still live, so we might dip into that later on. But I want to look at where they are now. Specifically, where are... This one. Mute the ad. Mute the ad for Adidas. No, I can't skip it. It's unskippable. All right, I want to look at where they are now. back in the golden age of this sector, and I was right there, A-logging with the best of them, there used to be a rare breed, now extinct. They used to roam the land, gathering local tribes and drinking the blood of small deer. The small deers were known as like Trigglypuffs and Big Reds and SJWs. And the tribal chieftains at the time, the rare extinct breed of which there are 0 today in the Space Year 2023, they were the skeptics. And I want to look at now the skeptics. Where are they now? Where are they now? Remember the past? Remember the sector? Remember the skeptics? Now, I Hypocrite, who's this man, and you'll see his face and shit in a minute. He put out a video called Skeptics, Where Are They Now? We're not going to be looking at his commentary. We're literally going to be going through the carnival of skeptics that he's acquired. Because I recognize a few and I remember a few and I have some stories behind the scenes about a few. Now, you've obviously got this bust, which you might think closely resembles I Hypocrite. You might think that this bust is a close resemblance of I Hypocrite. Now, if you're Helen Keller, if you're blind, deaf, and dumb, then maybe the bust resembles I Hypocrite. But you decide, because this is I Hypocrite's face talks.
Late 2019 or in 2020, he came back and posted a couple of videos, but they did very poorly in numbers. This is the unfortunate reality of the YouTube.
Render unto Caesar.
It doesn't permit you to take a 2-year break from your channel and then just...
All right, so that's I Hypocrite. People are saying old Jew. But he's gathered together a litany of skeptics. And the first one I wanted to look at was a guy I remember called A Charming Man. Now, A Charming Man, back when we were drinking Sargon's blood, there was no worse... I mean, this guy was LARPing so hard, so ridiculously, that when we jumped on a stream with him, I could scarcely believe my fucking eyes. So,
what his content was like. Let's check.
Bear in mind, this is a guy that used to say, I'm going to come round your house and drink your blood and slit your throat. You better not sleep quietly to rest. Sleep well, he'd say. And I'd be thinking, oh, will I be able to sleep? What? This guy's going to come round my house and destroy me? Who could this possibly be? The Charming Man is what he went by.
6-year-old video titled Jenny McDermott False DMCA's Small YouTuber Pluto
I Hypocrite.
From what I can gather, she...
This guy, Mitch, by the way, is my age. My age. Like, come on, Mitch. Like, for real. How dare! He used to call Sargon Mr. Benjamin. That was how ridiculous this was. How dare you impugn Mr. Benjamin's honor? I will drink your blood and slit your throat. I'm going to break your legs. Mr. Benjamin. Stop the slander of Mr. Benjamin.
is afraid of DMCA.
It's fucking Dr. Bashir.
He says that she hasn't DMCA'd him. He hasn't received anything, while she, in those two videos, said that she did DMCA him.
Now, bear in mind, this guy used to literally LARP as his avatar as a knight. A big buff knight with a sword and a shield, defending all of the skeptics' honor. I mean, Ridiculous. He's English. He's one of my countryfolk.
And that it'll be coming, but we don't know until TJ says so. If anyone does actually have confirmation that he's been DMCA'd.
If anyone does actually have confirmation that he's being DMCA'd, Mr. Benjamin is land. I'll get your blood and slit your throat and break your legs.
Like, come on, bro.
Please do tell me.
It's kind of ironic to think that Vernaculous's catalog of videos that may have been more or less time that nobody could. Charming Man is not much more director of you. Said something. I'll tweet my comment. Mitch Ray.
Also, now that looks pretty racist, people, doesn't it?
Now that looks pretty racist. That's pretty racist, people, doesn't it? Mr. Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin.
Looks racist. When I saw it, I thought, that's very judgmental. That's kind of racist.
It's racist.
And also, it's kind of sexist in the way because it doesn't also...
It's racist, it's sexist, and it's
on the men
disabled as well.
Arabs and
Arabs.
Then she rightfully got a backlash from this because it was a dumb tweet to make. It was not her finest moment. And of course, provoked the ire of everyone's favourite artist, Spinosaurus Kid. EB proves that there was probably a racial element.
I'm coming round, lad. I'm bringing the boys because you've impugned Mr. Benjamin's honour. I'm going to bring my big knight shield to my sword and my armour. Sleep well, Godwinson. I'm coming for you, lad.
A pattern. It shows maybe a history of saying
racial things.
JQ or
ridiculous.
This was on Reddit.
Ridiculous.
I've screenshotted a Reddit post after if you're yeah.
Come
all
on.
Right is all right. Now, it could well be a troll question. They could well be trolling. But I think that is a 99%.
Where are they now?
This is very serious. And he asks,
where are they now?
Are you comfortable talking about the JQ?
Isn't that Shitrat? No, actually, this was Shitrat's capo. This was who Shitrat sent in the proxy war with Godwinson. Because we called him Shitrat, and we read aloud his mum's Indeed LinkedIn profile. So Shitrat sent in a charming man on his fiery steed to bring justice and behead Godwinson.
Says blonde, apparently called Becca. Didn't know that. No, but that shouldn't preclude.
I can't read Reddit.
I talked a little bit on my podcast about Jewish
difficult for me to do.
There is no dismissing or ignoring that Jews are overrepresented in media, academia, and finance. Further, they are an
It's finance.
Diversity in their
Why do you say it like two words? Finance.
Well, if that doesn't show that maybe she does have an element to that, and that tweet was born out of something like this, and I don't know what does, people. I don't know what does.
Now, let me just start by saying that
I don't know what racism and naming the J's.
But that was a charming man. Now, you might remember this guy. I remember this guy. Now, obviously, iHypocrite is ranking the skeptics on this B list here. We might do a skeptics, where are they now? I might actually do that. Soon. But you might remember this guy. Now, this was a guy that literally has been lost to the mists of time. But he was my endorsement. He was my favourite skeptic, for real. Straight up my favourite skeptic. Move over like Davis Arini and fucking Jordan Owen and Sargoon and Bearing and all of them. Move over, because this was my endorsement. You remember this guy, folks? And this was their theme song, remember? Chardonnay. It's Wizard of Goss.
if Charming Man 93 is one of the lesser known...
Wizard of Course.
Nick Goroff, or Wizard of Cause, is one of the more tragic ones, and one who, I'll admit, I find personally kind of repugnant. Nick was a shameless drunkard, and
he was the best one.
Johnny-come-lately,
straight up the best one.
Quickly rose to a modicum of prominence by cozying up to Sargon of Akkad. I know we haven't talked about Sargon yet, and maybe I should.
Sargon used to do streams with him where he... So, Sargon would be getting drunk on the streams as well, okay? But Sargon used to say, maybe you should put down the wine a bit. Maybe you should just maybe you should stop. Meanwhile, Sargon's completely shitted. Maybe you should just take it easy. Maybe you should just take it easy. Remember when Sargon used to look like this, folks? The Golden Age. Remember? Gamergate was a wild ride.
Figure in this whole story. But if you're here watching this, I'm assuming you probably have some familiarity already.
Damn right.
Suffice it to say,
Wizard of
Sargon
course.
was the king of kings and a kingmaker.
He was the king of kings, and he was the kingmaker. A lot of our stuff is stolen from Wizard, of course.
Were able to weasel your way into his inner circle, which many people did, it would grant a great boon and boost to your career as a YouTuber.
Damn right.
That's what Wizard of Cause did, but it didn't last very long. Because he was such a raging alcoholic,
No!
always 3 sheets to the wind. One day showed up for a stream with Sargon where he was so drunk he could barely talk.
He was shitted, folks. He was but Sargon was also shitted. And Sargon was like, "Ooh, what are you drinking?" And the guy was like, "Well, I've already been drinking. Sargon, I've already been drinking." So I was like, "Oh, we were just going to have a few glasses. I've just done a few bottles, Sargon. maybe take it easy, Wizard of course."
And that was the last time he was invited to stream with Sargon. Looking back at his old content, it's hard to find something that's even interesting enough to put on for 2 minutes. He specialized...
It's all gold, though. I mean, look, he used to, like, Photoshop people. The CEO of Starbucks is Hitler, holding a Starbucks cup. You know, he used to LARP as a devil. He used to rage about the misgendered alpacas. Stuff like don't drink the Kool-Aid. Where am I looking? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. First up again, so lots of Joker thumbnails. Vegans can't count chickens. Woke as fuck. I mean, this guy had the best of all of the thumbnails. For real. True Kino dog.
That were 20 to 30 minutes long, where he would just sort of ramble aimlessly.
He was the best one.
That was particularly insightful, but doing it in a kind of pretentious...
He literally, at one point, yeah, he photoshopped the horns onto his head to be a devil as well. It was just great, just great. He even drew himself self-portrait-wise in pencil.
An affected way that might
he was
make
great.
Some people think they were listening to something that was actually deep. And looking at his channel from that golden age era,
it was a golden
age. People were watching either. These videos were average.
Look, here's Zoe Quinn picking her nose at the United Nations. Let's analyse this for half an hour. Drunk, 3 sheets to the wind, completely half cut.
2,000 to 4,000 views, give or take. I mean, the guy was just always batting a mediocre average. Let's give it a little listen anyways, just so we know what we're dealing with.
This guy was a king.
You can take all white people and say that they are all guilty for all of the oppression that every black person or person of color has had to endure throughout the history of the United States or the UK or anywhere else. You can say that. Doesn't make it right. How is it, for instance, that perhaps a white Jew whose family came over trying to escape the Holocaust in the 20th century and perhaps lived in New York, carving out a small niche doing leather working, until after perhaps a generation they were able to make their way as a lineage into academia, into college, to work in a field of, let's say, social work and do things such as march with Martin Luther King and try and end segregation, and then continue working within the
true Kino dog, mate.
Blame that white Jew whose family never benefited from slavery, whose family never enforced segregation, and whose family ultimately ended up working to end the segregation.
People are saying I could never take his voice seriously. Well, this was the thing, right? You were expecting, when you clicked on a Wizard of Cause video, to literally be like, have the guy drinking blood, literally screaming at the top of his voice, maybe even dressed as the devil from fucking Tenacious D's tribute video, just screaming fire and hatred. Instead, what you used to get was
part of to begin with. Can you blame them at the same time?
Yeah, whites are historically pretty bad, but have you considered that Jews are also white? What about that little monkey wrench?
I hypocrites
Another
keep it
video
up the fort.
dedicated to defending the idea of centrism along
To progressivism. Now, I kind of define those as two different camps. So let's start with...
Now, yeah, so what this guy was like a mix between millennial woes and Kraut, but the Kraut side won out, where he was just like based centrism. That's all it was. Based centrism the whole way. Also, based alcoholism as well.
For liberalism. Now, should we necessarily...
He had Skepta's face as well. He was truly like... he was the pool of which all of the current year A-logs have sprung out of. He was that genetic pool. I mean, Spectre's face, Millennial Woes' living style, Kraut's voice, Ralph's alcoholism. The true king of the sector, if ever there was one.
Necessarily cling to the notions of old world philosophers of antiquity? Well, if their ideas hold up, absolutely. But before we got into progressivism, modern American liberalism largely meant a big tent of ideas. Everyone is welcome.
Well, this is what Bryan Cranston was doing. This is the character he was playing just before Breaking Bad. Times were a bit tough, so he decided to join the skeptic community and A-log Trigglybuff.
Really, that the merit of your ideas has to stand up to scrutiny. Now, I do actually still support this notion. However, at the same time, I think that the scrutiny, rather than being when the person speaking the ideas is on stage, the main stage, in the main tent, I kind of think maybe it ought to be
I think the poor guy had his liver taken out and died of alcoholism.
Does your ideology support widespread violence
Where are
against
they now?
populations due to demographics that...
Remember this, by the way, folks? What you're seeing here is he printed that out, but that used to be a meme that used to go around Gamergate, and it was Uncle Sam saying, "We want you for Gamergate." And he printed it out and framed it. Okay. That was how it used to rock back in the day.
May have been born to outside of their own control. Sorry, not really liberal. You don't really belong. Oh.
We want you for
Kekistan.
Kekistan.
The silencing of voices based on the notions that you may disagree with them and they may hurt your feelings. You may feel that they may offend others who are not even yourself. Sorry, not really liberal.
So that seems a bit hypocritical to me.
All right. Are hypocrites taking them at their word and analysing their points 10 years after the fact? So, what side am I on? Because, right, Wizard, of course, used to get so obliteratedly drunk that he'd bounce between... He'd start off, right, straight up centrism, straight up, down the line, Sargon-esque centrism. But after a few pints, we've all been there. You start naming J's, words start... You start calling everyone white N-words, and, maybe you have to clarify what side you're on. And so that was what this video was.
Am I on? Where he really
We've all been there.
Derangement syndrome show. Basically,
we've all been there.
To go fuck themselves. Let's check it out.
The truth is that unlike many of my, I suppose you could call them contemporaries in that field, it wasn't one that was...
The contemporaries. So the skeptics, they wouldn't just call each other other Spurgs and Speds. They'd refer to each other like in esteemed languages, terminology. My colleagues. My associates. So V, and short fat otaku, the man who literally used to tuck his penis between his legs and pretend it was a vagina and catfished Warski. He was his contemporary. V, the man who married a Romanian prostitute. Contemporary. Sargon, the man who became the national lolcow of the UK. Contemporary. Bearing, the man who pretended to be a bear online and got revealed as like a cuck in some weird polyamorous marriage with his wife. Contemporary. War Corpse, balding, way past, but 50-year-old alcoholic, literally still living in his mom's basement, screaming at Saint Anita. Contemporary. Fellow professor. Scientist. That's how these men conducted themselves. Wasley.
Abject
Monkey Jones. Contemporary.
Unlike many of my, I suppose you could call them contemporaries in that field, it wasn't one that was just rooted in this abject, dumb shit notion of gotta own the libs. I'm not the type of person who thinks that there's a creeping communist conspiracy. And over the years, as I watched the media and cultural
I mean, already he's fucking shitted as fuck in this. He is wasted to the point where he's already lost the train of thought that he originally got on. He initially got on one train of thought, and now he's like on a wagon of thought. Now he's taking a walk off on the fucking train tracks.
The social justice grifter like Anita Sarkeesian, Wayne and Drift Away.
Anita Sarkeesian, the highest. Anita Sarkeesian is like today's Ethan Ralph. You know, if you said anything positive about Anita,
as we see today,
it was the highest sin.
Modern triggered snowflake who simply can't handle any opposition to their ideologies and thinks that, well, basically ideological hegemony is the only way that they can ever achieve the sorts of future that they dream of. Well, it's the modern fringe right. It's the Trumpist right. We should be honest with ourselves. Right now, there isn't really
you might have noticed that he's got like YouTube on a Jack Daniels t-shirt. You know, because in every ounce of the man's aspect and character, his alcoholism was truly represented.
to speak of an actual
Where are they now?
In this country. Considering what we have going on right now with the protests and the riots across the country.
YouTube Saint, yeah, it says YouTube Saint on a Jack Daniels logo. And where's the lie? Where is the lie, ladies and gentlemen? YouTube Saint.
Many people who like to wear the stars and stripes as a fashion statement and call themselves patriots who are in love with the concepts of freedom and liberty are actively cheering on an authoritarian goon in the White House.
Whoa.
Who not only wants to put troops on the streets and establish a form of martial law.
Now bear in mind, this was at the time when Obama was in the White House. It was Obama era.
To tamp down on domestic unrest and quell insurrection, but also uses tear gas to clear out ordinary American citizens who are peacefully protesting.
That's
and
right.
exercising.
That's right. How could we even forget? Now, bear in mind, Wizard, of course, was raked over the coals for this, but yes, Obama used tear gas every single minute of the day on American citizens. Tear gas. Obama. Black Jesus did it.
Their First Amendment rights simply for a photo op and a propaganda video to put out on Twitter. This
These transitions.
sort of populism that we've been hurtling towards, in which is simple like nationalistic outrage, drum beating, fears of foreigners and that which is different, and a desperate desire to cling to some antiquated notion of tradition when things were supposedly better. Despite the fact that throughout our
Now, bear in mind, all of this predates alt-right. All of this predates alt-right. So, for any of the alt-right spokes that still exist in the current space year, 2023, this is before your time. This is when literally ideology was made around whatever Sargon had put out in This Week in Stupid. It's because of this guy that you have an alt-right. It's because of this guy that you even have an alt-right, folks. So be grateful to the YouTube saint that is Wizard, of course.
As is so often argued by the very same side, it's never been better than it is now because of the glories of our civilization. The virtues of American culture cannot be those of militaristic nationalist pride, of drum beating and chest thumping, and of reverence and obedience towards a dear leader. Because the truth
Your
is,
dear leader, Black Jesus himself, Barack Obama. That's what he's talking about. Your dear leader.
is that for all those people who complain
The
about
eyes of an
communism,
alcoholic? No.
it seems as though militarized borders,
Wait a minute.
checkpoints with armed guards, dogs, and automatic weapons.
This guy was
to make sure you are a
This
citizen.
guy was ragging on Obama when it wasn't cool.
Military clampdowns and lockdowns.
This guy was naming
Police.
Obama's tear gas regime when it wasn't cool. He was naming his fucking kids in cages policies when it wasn't cool, folks.
The sharing in the public service.
Trump stole it all from this man.
Oof, what utter...
Fuentes stole it all from that man. You better fucking believe it. There are a couple more skeptics that I Hypocrite does Where Are They Nows on. Where is it? Okay.
And as I left, no one tried to stop me. So I learned I was always as free as I wanted to be. I was always as free as a bird. I was always as free as I correct side. I just don't think that
Remember this guy?
Yeah, exactly. I think that if the sort of culture war that's been going on with gay marriage has been won by, in my opinion, the correct side. I just don't think that we needed the judiciary to change that, you know. And I
Shall we do our own skeptics? Where are they now? I think we can do our own, because I don't think Hypocrite really did it justice. He did a couple that brought it back, but most of his video is literally him. I mean, fuck. Fuck. Holy shit, dude. Like, whoa. Interviewing them. But, like, Jesus. But they're not on camera, they're all just avatars. But, like, fucking life took a hard turn. Jesus.
The actual problems, cultural problems.
Hypocrite's been doing a bit of eye meth. I think. Jesus.
They underestimated it, and they assumed
Guy who wanted to
that
drink my blood, by the way.
these people who were fighting were honest actors. They were just misinformed. You know, they just needed to be reasoned with, but you can't reason with extremists.
You can't reason with Godwinson.
Yeah.
Once I learned that,
He's an
I
extremist.
realised, you just got to fight fire with fire. You got to go Old Testament, not New Testament.
That's what he... That's what he used to say. I have to go Old Testament on you because you don't understand the rules of the game. My contemporary, I'm going to have to go Old Testament on you. Old Testament. Old Testament.
Then she rightfully got a backlash from this because it was a dumb tweet to make. It was not her finest moment. And
This ain't your finest moment. I did have some stuff. We'll save the skeptics one because I need to dig them out from the Phantom Zone. But what I want to do is just talk about. It might run over this show slightly, but I'll try and keep it to a reasonable length. So I wanted to do this one. This one. You'll just have to wait for the adverts to play. So just wait. I don't even know what this advert is about. It's about investing. About investing my coins. Don't get played. Right. So bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. So this segment is now regarding Lil Teddy Feezer. Lil Faggot Feezer. It's Queer Pill Gaming, folks. Teddy Feezer has bowed out of the sector because we made a video. We cut a promo on the guy, and now he's literally bowed out of the fucking sector. He's handed his resignation in to me personally, and we are shedding light on the situation as it stands. Lil Teddy Feezer, Lil Peter Pan. All right, let me find Peter Pan's resignation letter, and we'll unpack together. Are you ready? So, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I recover the resignation letter. Just bear with me. That's better. Okay. So, Jesus. Poor guy really did bow out. So, the resignation letter he gives up A-logging purely because we cut. I'll show you the promo we cut on Little Teddy first, just so you've got appropriate context, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to use that one as well. Just bear with me, folks, while we find my promo on Little Teddy Feaser, Peter Pan himself. It was tough. I genuinely thought there'd be more fight. So this was the promo.
Where are you hiding?
Well, we found him. We found him. We found him, folks, and we drank his blood. Current year good guy. Embraced by Red Pill Gaming. And go hypocrisy. Where it sits, it doesn't... Living with as well. We'll go into Teddy Feaser in just a moment, in more depth. Goes on for like another 30 seconds. His inspirational photos. Any assorted clips of an incel loser. And all of Nick Fuentes' mannerisms. Nick Fuentes is half his fucking age. And he sat there and copied the mannerisms of a 19-year-old boy to make himself look like a king online. Holy shit. I genuinely didn't think, like, this was something. So, the promo on Teddy Feaser on Kino Casino, episode 2. These are the good guys. The good guys. The light 64 style. Maybe you shouldn't be having that think about what's going to the shadow of your own mother. Maybe you shouldn't be obsessing, pontificating about what's going on in Tinkerbell and various publications of Tinkerbell. Literal fairy. A fairy tale children's fairy. Maybe you shouldn't be having those thoughts, pontificating on them. Maybe you should get a fucking job, Teddy. Maybe you should get out of your mum's fucking basement, Teddy. Oh, it's... All right, so that's the promo we cut, and it was enough to prompt Lil Teddy Feaser to hand his resignation letter. All right, so let's go. Let's hear him out. He's resigning. He's giving up A-logging. That's what the letter is. The letter is head titled to Godwinson, I'm giving up A-logging.
Do you genuinely feel like I am wanting to, I don't know, like start a new chapter?
Convenient.
But I don't know, you know, I've been doing the A-logging thing for such a long time that it's kind of hard to recalibrate, you know, because like you guys know me primarily for that.
We know you for stealing Nick Fuentes' skin and being his #1 A-log. And some of us know you for hiding in your mum's basement and using a big red hat to cover up your shiny head. Others might know you from being a 40-year-old neat that has autistically copied every mannerism that Nick Fuentes has ever shown online. His voice, his hand movements, his everything. That's how we know you, Teddy.
Oh, so it's kind of hard to switch gear. It kind of like, so basically I have somewhat typecasted myself, and this is an issue that
he's typecasted himself.
Actors run into. Like
he's an actor. He's typecasted himself as a fucking desperate Peter Pan. Drinking Nick's blood. Oh, it's tough. What is the extent of this man's range? What is the extent of Teddy Feaser's range, folks? Does it extend to him getting a job and moving out of his mum's basement? Is that in the range?
You know, Steve Urkel, for example. Or
he's Steve Urkel,
the actor that played Steve Urkel. Like, that guy could never get another role after Steve Urkel because everybody only saw him as Steve Urkel.
Yeah, and people only ever see you as a Nick Walker, and you can't get another role after that because you literally are a Nick Walker. It's not even tough, it's what you are. You're a Jewish Nick Fuentes. Straight up, no messing. That's the TLDR on Teddy Feezer. Nick Duentes. The range.
You know, and everybody sees me as this America First A-log,
Which you are.
Understandably they do, because that's...
All of your
like I said,
content.
that is the,
Every
the
single
role
video
I
you
play
ever
for-
make. And when you don't make America First is evil content, Nick Fuentes should have picked me instead content, you're literally talking about and pontificating around the ethical fucking morality, the ethical questions around recasting Tinkerbell. Teddy Feezer. We should discuss Tinkerbell more.
quite some time now, but I don't know. I do feel like I am partially losing my vigor for it. I just
Wonder what prompted that
I
one,
just
Teddy.
feel like there isn't.
It's because the crazes are coming.
I feel like I've just said everything.
Because the king is here.
That there is to say, and I said it
And
so
drain your
many
blood.
times, and
No
you
half
know,
measures.
so often these days, I just feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. I know it's important because there's a lot of people who haven't received the message yet. There's a lot of people who are still in the cult. There are a lot of people who are still bedazzled by Nick, and they're still.
I mean, the cult? There is no one more fully indoctrinated in the cult of Nick Fuentes than Teddy Feezer. If Nick Fuentes was lying in the street, half dead, you know what Teddy Feezer would do? He wouldn't call an ambulance. He wouldn't even piss on him. What Teddy Feezer would do is literally take out a little pocket knife that he's got specially made for this occasion and start skinning Nick Fuentes alive. And once he managed to take off the whole skin suit, he'd then wear it and just leave behind the skeletonized Nick Fuentes, dead in a puddle of its own blood, as he walks around and says that he is Nick Fuentes. That's what he'd do, folks. Straight up. There is no one further in the cult of Nick Fuentes than Teddy Feezer himself.
Still entranced, and they're still being misled, and they're confused. But I don't know. I just don't really feel like it's something I am interested in talking about for the rest of my life.
Liar.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah.
But
His
is
resignation
difficult, though.
letter.
It's difficult making that transition.
It's difficult making the transition because all of his audience are in revolt now. Because all of his audience want him to keep talking about Nick Fuentes and how he's much better than him, how he's the Mirror Universe version of Nick Fuentes. So that's why it's a difficult transition, because unfortunately, they're not all signing up to watch him cut a promo on Tinkerbell. Fortunately, that's not cutting it, Teddy Feezer. So the transition's going to be a tough one, my friend.
And figuring out what the next step is. So I would say
Next step, either get a job or get a gun. Next step, move out of your mum's basement or do a flip. Next steps for Teddy Feezer.
I don't want to overstate what I am going through right now, but I would say that I'm kind of trying to figure out.
I'm trying to figure out what to grift onto next.
Is for me, and
how can I
where
use the
take
Nick
stream
skin
from
suit
here.
effectively?
And I say this every
Whose mannerisms do I copy next? Do I just copy Jim's next and just say chat? Chat. Chat. Does he join the Jim Walkers? Does he become a lone Nick Walker in a post bread tube world? Where does he go? Where do we go now? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
time too. Obviously, if something major happens, it's going to get covered. But as far as the day-to-day goes, I'm just sick and tired of watching Dalton streams on 2x speed looking for 7 minutes of worthwhile clips to show you guys. Like I'm watching hours and hours of content that I hate.
It's because you've got nothing better to do, Teddy. You ain't got a family to take care of. You ain't got a job to go to. You ain't got a reason to actually get out of bed in the morning other than to wear Nick's skin, other than to watch constant hours upon hours of Dalton Clodfelter and TL Sartor. That's all you got. You literally alarm clock yourself to their streams. So don't try and be a bigger man and pretend you ain't doing any of this. You ain't doing a Toad McJudas and out there lobster diving and deer hunting. You're literally just sat there, surrounded by tissues of used semen, waiting for your mum to... Dinner's ready, Teddy. Dinner's ready, Teddy. Dinner. Teddy.
Okay, I'll get it later.
Okay. I'm proud of you, Teddy.
Go away. Go away.
That's your life, Teddy Visa.
I dislike
Mom!
these people. I dislike their personalities. I think that, they are... These are awful, terrible people. And
We're awful, terrible people now because we finally decided to set our sights on little Teddy Visa Peter Pan. Now we're awful, terrible people. Now it requires a resignation letter because he's just so done with the sector. Oh, well, this is what you asked for, my friend. These are the consequences of your actions.
all day, I'm just pouring through hours and hours of content that I don't enjoy, looking for
Mannerisms
looking
to
for
copy.
some gems, looking for some nuggets to share with you guys, but I don't know. I think we all get the point, right? Like Dalton's a scrub. He's a all these people. They're honestly basically all exactly the same, with slight variations.
So, like you. I mean, you are the same as them, but with a slight variation. You know what the slight variation is? You're a Jew. That's the slight variation, and that's obviously why you were thrown out of America first. Because you're like a Jewish Kyler who copied Nick's mannerisms. Slight variations. Fucking bit rich for you to talk about the Nick Walkers as though you're not literally one of them. If our eyes were closed, if I was doing this...
Between them.
Is this Nick? It's a Nick video, yes?
And,
it's
a
Nick.
big part of the reason why
It's Nick.
I got so heavy
Oh,
into
no.
it is because,
It's a Jew.
Besides me and a few others, nobody is really doing that coverage anymore.
No one's really doing that coverage anymore. Even he doesn't believe the lie. He's clenched his fist because he's trying to believe the lie. They're all doing it. They're all Keikler. It's Keikler. They're all doing it. There isn't one person that doesn't make Nick Fuentes as a gay homo content. There isn't one person that doesn't make Ethan Ralph farted content. He's the only one out there fighting the good fight. If you squeeze your fist hard enough, Teddy, maybe it'll come true. Maybe you can fly, Teddy. Maybe you can join the Lost Boys and fight Captain Hook and get the alarm clock from the crocodile that ate it or some shit. Maybe you can sail side by side with good old Smee. Maybe it's time for Smee. Yeah, believe it hard enough. When we wish upon a star, doesn't matter
there used to
who
be
we are.
this web forum that was dedicated to covering America First and Nick Fuentes.
Kiwi
and
Farms.
Groiper Generals, but they seem to have
Groiper
given
Generals.
up on that. That's not something that they are interested in anymore. So
They're not
if I
interested
don't
in
do it, if Jake
drinking
doesn't
Ralph
do
from
it,
Nick Fuentes'
then,
blood anymore. So he
there's,
can't get content as easily
not
as he could.
Too many others out there.
Not
who
but
are
2 weeks
doing
ago.
it.
There
But
aren't
at the
many
same
others out
time,
there doing
I
it.
don't know. I think America First. I think it's running out of steam, especially after the Ali Akbar cover-up. Nick's response was...
Ali Jamal being exposed as a pedophile. I mean, holy fuck. Running out of steam. Surely there's enough content there, Red Pill Gaming, to expose Ali Jamal's paedophilia even more. Surely there's more to cover. Surely it's not just the end of the train. You'd think now it's all been launched again. No. One promo from Godwinson makes it just disappear. Ali Jamal's paedophilia just disappears into the ether, apparently.
It's absolutely disgraceful. Mask came all the way off. People really, a lot of people who were still in the cult. It was
I still can't believe what Jamal did, to be
and
honest.
eye-opening, and it was
Fucking
a game changer
horrendous.
for a lot of people. But the thing is like Nick is always, there's always going to be a Nick Fuentes, and he's always gonna
Yeah.
deliver.
And doesn't that fucking keep you up at night? You sick, twisted piece of shit. There's always going to be a Nick Fuentes. Doesn't that fucking keep you up? It's like when Gator fantasizes about Jim's death and realizes that, wait, Jim actually isn't dying. There will always be a Jim. There will always be a Nick Fuentes. And unfortunately, because they continue to live, you will not be allowed to climb into the coffin as it's being lowered into the ground and skin the corpse for the skin suit that you wish to wear. There will always be a Jim. There will always be a Nick.
With some number of people, he's charismatic. He's a skilled orator. He's a sophist.
He's charismatic. He's a skilled orator. He's a sophist. He's a Nick and his mum's best friend.
People on Earth who are going to buy into the scheme, who are going to buy into the grift. But I think that I have done.
You've done
really,
jack shit. You've done fuck all. All you've done is expose yourself as a neat living in his mum's basement, Teddy Feezer. That's all you've done. All you've done, Teddy Feezer, your only thing of note is literally being here at the table, being murked by an Anglo. No, you've done such a... Listen to him go, I've done a colossal amount.
Amounts of irreparable harm to America first.
Yeah.
Not alone.
He's done colossal amounts of irreparable harm to America first. Such colossal amounts of irreparable harm that he's literally assumed the identity of Nick Fuentes. It's a cliche saying, but it's kind of fucking true. When you stare hard enough into the abyss stares back at you? When you stare hard enough at Nick Fuentes and you become Nick Fuentes? That's what's happened. That's your life, Teddy Feezer. Except you're the wrong side of history. Because there ain't no market for a Jewish Nick Fuentes. I hate to break it to you, son. There ain't no market for a red-pilled Jew. We've done that. And history's literally past it. And if there were a market, it wouldn't be coming at us in the form of Kyler. Unfortunately, there's no markets for Keiklers in the world. It's tough. It's real tough.
I've said what I had to say. I think I've proven.
Right. So he says what he has to say. Now, unfortunately, and it's kind of fucking tough, his resignation letter continued, folks. There's a page 2. Page 2 on the desk, fresh this morning. Page 2 of Keikler's resignation letter, fresh on the desk. Addendum. Edit to clarify. Edit 2 to clarify. On the desk this morning. And we're going to read it. We're going to unpack. We're going to shed some light on the situation, Teddy. No hat. No hat, Teddy. Hats off. Right, so there's a part 2 to Teddy's resignation letter. And this is kind of fucking tough. The guy was clearly in tears as he was writing his part 2. Bear in mind, he just signed off the first resignation letter with, "That's all I've got to say. I'm leaving the sector, I'm bowing out, I've got nothing left to give. I've done a colossal of irreparable harm to Nick Fuentes, and I am not a Nick Walker," is how he signed out. But he's back. Page 2. Let's turn the leaf.
But also, like I said, people, they take time to break out of their habits. We're all creatures of...
When people say Godwinson on Cozy next week, you ever been to Cozy? You ever seen what they do on Cozy? Everyone on Cozy watches me. I go on Cozy, I'm met by 5 streams simultaneously watching me. So I am on Cozy. I've made them all a colossal amounts of money. And you know what? I feel like I deserve a medal. I am Cozy at this point. And I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy all of them watching it. I enjoy the Daltons trying to like glean some esoteric political message from it. I enjoy a drunken Ralph just passing out to the sound of my voice screaming, "Sorry, Gator." I enjoy Beardson in between monologues about how he's not doing so well, chuckling at me screaming, "Teddy Feezer is a Peter Pan piece of shit." I am Cozy TV. And you know what also brings me joy? That when the traitor and the lard, the lard and the tard are out there doing research for their show and they're trying to gather clips of Ralph, it's literally interspersed with me screaming at the top of my lungs, red-faced. Where have I put it? Dearie me, how can we have lost that? We've lost it. Bear with me. Oh, we hadn't lost it, it was just being sat up. I enjoy immensely that the lard and the tard have to comb through Ethan Ralph's show, which is literally me screaming, "For Andy Jr., for Andy Jr., over and over again, reminding Andy of the son he murdered. I enjoy that I am the beacon of cozy entertainment. It makes me pretty cozy.
Habit, and when you're used to doing something for a very long time.
I'm the rock upon which the sector was built. Damn right. You want proof of that? Go to Cozy TV right now. I am the content. I love it. So yeah, will Godwinson be on Cozy? There's your answer. Speds and Spags.
Familiar with it, you're comfortable with it.
Page 2, by the way.
So it takes time for people to break out of habits. But I don't want to be, typecast as...
I'm typecast. It takes time for people to break out of habits.
I think it's going to take a lot of time. I don't think time is really in contention here. I think the one thing that will break you out of these habits that you've acquired of literally all of Nick Fuentes' mannerisms and vocal fries, the only thing that's going to heal that is a swift bullet, Teddy Feezer. Swift bullet.
An AF hater for the rest of my life, is what I'm saying.
I'm not going to be an AF hater for the rest of my life. I'm bigger than this. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to be a star in Hollywood.
You know what, Teddy? When you go to Hollywood and you try and be a star, you know what you're going to be a star of? You're going to be a star of big gay pornos. You're going to be entertainment for a midnight Persip. Midnight Persip doing the holy diver in the midnight sea, looking at the big beefy bears and the sexy otter. And that's what you're going to be, entertainment for Persip. You're going to be a real star. Your name's going to be right there in lights above Persip's bedpost as he salivates and masturbates all over your image, being pile-drived by a big black bull, just filling you with cock meat, Teddy. You're going to be a pin-up for Persip. Name in lights.
I want to be in Hollywood. I'm a real star. I'll make it.
No regrets at all.
No regrets.
Zero, none. Zilch, nada, none, zip. All I'm saying is that ready for a change.
I'm ready for a change.
RJ, is this Big Tech's former co-host, RJ? He says Big Tech A-Law gang? Dead chat?
Dead chat. So obviously when Teddy dipped down to the sector and announced that he was going to star in gay black pornos, multiracial pornos on Hollywood, going to be a star, the audience dived, and his chat just became one of deadness and slow movement. Kind of fucking tough for Teddy. And in real time, he's being A-logged by his slow-moving chat that's literally just full of hatred. How dare you not A-log Nick Fuentes? That's why you're here. And when you try and escape, you're going to be making Persip come. That's your future, Teddy Feezer. You're going to be your legacy is literally going to be that napkin that Persip throws across the room when he's finished, after doing his holy diver in the midnight sea.
Well, it's more active than the streams on Cozy. Anyway.
Tough.
So.
Fucking tough-bodied.
It's more active on the streams on Cozy.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. No, but it's, you know, not to sound gay, but it's super toxic. It's super...
It's toxic. It's toxic now. Now it's toxic. Now because the king of the sector has set his sights on Teddy Feezer and is shouting Peter Pan at the top of his lungs. Now it's toxic. Now it's toxic, folks. It wasn't toxic when they were literally trying to swat Nick, swat anyone associated with him, where they were triangulating the movements of Ethan Ralph's infant daughter, when they were compiling deepfakes of said events, when they were attempting to like swat IRL events. That wasn't toxic. It wasn't toxic behavior at all. It wasn't toxic when you had literal Christorian exes and Kino shays who ran to the fucking hills when he was exposed. It wasn't toxic then, but now it's toxic. Right.
Yes, and I don't know, I just...
By the way, Teddy, resignation accepted. Your cards are on the table. Please
It
exit.
does grow old, like anything.
Please leave the building.
It
You
does
have
grow
10
old.
minutes to clear out your desk.
Hope and see.
And if you're not gone within 10 minutes, we'll be sending security to escort you off the
You know,
side.
so it's up to you, but I'm not gonna...
Please leave.
You know, we're not gonna tolerate that, so...
I'm not going to tolerate you.
It's your call. If you want to behave, you're welcome here. If you're gonna be a douchebag, then...
If you're going to call him a Jewish Peter Pan, if you're going to expose his nose, if you're going to say that he's a Nick Walker, you're not going to be tolerated here. He's just going to ban you on site. In his chat, it's already slow moving to the point where the only people of note are the people calling him Keikler, are the people calling him Nick Duentes, are the people saying your future is being Persip's comrade. Tough.
We're gonna kick you out.
No, you don't get to keep the pens, Teddy. The pens are the company's. Please leave.
Marvick says it was
Yeah,
fun
take
when
the
you were going
full
after
set.
Hunter, maybe focus on going after some leftists.
Yeah. Maybe focus on going after some leftists, Teddy.
Stir up beef with Hunter, but then he blocked me on Twitter, so unfortunately.
You know why Hunter Avalon blocked you on Twitter? You want me to let you in on a little secret, Teddy Feezer? Because no matter how far you might try and run, no matter how far you run for them hills, Teddy, you're seen in the same sewer as the people you cover. You are the sewer. Hunter Avalon sees you, sees the lard and the tard, sees Cog, sees all of you A-logging faggots, your Kino shays, your Christorian exes, and he just sees the same sewer. He sees you in the same category as me. The sewer. This is the sector, and really what the sector should be called is the sewer. And you can't escape the sewer, because the rats will just keep dragging you back in. You're in the same sewer as esoteric shaggyism, Teddy Feezer. You're in the sewer with us. You're in the same sewer. And so, of course, Hunter Avalon's just going to block you on sight. Because he don't want to be stinking of shit, does he? Like, come on, Teddy. I have range. I'm going to be a star. I'm an actor. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's been cut off for now. And I don't know, you know, I really don't know how to get into it with anybody else. I mean, maybe as my
What about me,
Twitter
Teddy?
presence grows.
What about I grow
I
your
do think I'm
presence,
starting
Teddy?
to pop up on the
What about I grow your presence before you grow Persip's presence in the Midnight Sea? Either I grow your presence, or you go to Hollywood and you end up growing Persip's presence at 2 a.m. in the morning.
radars of some. I do see some people interacting with my tweets. They're replying. They're quote retweeting people that, you know, I've been totally out of that orbit ever since I was on Twitch. When I was on Twitch, I was A-logging leftists.
Yeah.
And then we all got sent to the...
Yeah. When you got banned for being in the same sewer as me, Because you ain't got family-friendly content, Teddy Feezer. You're literally in the sewer. You know, in your band, you celebrate our bands, Teddy. I'll let you know on a little secret. You know, you celebrate Nick's bands and Ralph's bands, and you laugh and you go, "Oh, I'm a king now." You're the next one to get banned because you're seen as within the same. We're all sewer rats. Some of us get swept first. Some of us get to limp on, but ultimately, you're still a sewer rat. And Twitch is going to tell you to go back to the sewer. YouTube's going to tell you to go back to the sewer. Twitter's going to tell you to go back to the sewer. And you know what? When you've alienated all your cozy TV, wannabe, I mean, you are a wannabe, folks. You're a Nick Walker. Definitive example. But there ain't going to be anywhere to run. You can't run to cozy TV. You can only run back to the sewer. So it's tough. Real tough.
The internet slums, D-Live, and Trovo, and I basically...
That's where you're heading.
Totally detached from the left.
You're heading to the internet slums of
it's
Kick.com, Kick.tv, Comfy TV,
with only other right-wingers.
Rumble.
So I think Twitter is definitely going to eventually help change things up.
The only thing Twitter's going to do is recognise that you're in the same sewer as us and revoke your right to post. Based.
Josh says, are you becoming allergic to A-logging? I wouldn't use that word, but you know, it'll still happen from time to time, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody always does a little bit of A-logging.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
even
sure.
people who aren't A-log sometimes. I'm just trying to, you know, maybe change from full-time A-logging to part-time A-logging.
What? You're trying to change from full-time A-logging to part-time A-logging? You can literally do full-time anything, Teddy. You're unemployed. You live in your mum's basement. News alert. Breaking news, Teddy. Anything you do is full-time. Like, I hate to break it to you at the age of 40-something years old, Teddy, but you are full-time, whatever you do. Full-time unemployment. Full-time living in your mum's basement. Full-time wearing Nick Fuentes' skin.
Logging when it's called for. Ice says RJ looks up to Big Tech, who is Beansoy's bitch. What does that say about them? I barely know who RJ is. All I know is that this was Big Tech's former co-host. He got tossed to the curb because he totally sucked. And that's about as much as I know about the guy. Yo, Ed, what's up there, man? What's up there, White Rabbit? Good to see you.
You're seeing white rabbits now.
Anyway,
It's Teddy Feezer in
I'm just kind
Wonderland.
of thinking out loud here, just sharing.
He's
with
thinking
you
out
guys
loud.
where I'm at.
Where you're at. God. This ain't a resignation letter, folks. It's a fucking suicide note. What a fucking piss weak suicide note. Do you reckon he attempted it? Do you reckon he's attempted it? Just after making this fucking resignation letter, this suicide note, do you reckon he tried? Do you reckon all of his fucking skills came to the forefront? Him trying to tie up a noose and then failing. Him trying to slit his wrists with a pencil and failing. Him trying to fire a gun into his temple and failing because it's a water pistol instead. Him trying to drink a bottle of mouthwash and thinking it's cyanide. Him using his mom's paracetamol as an excuse to overdose. Do you reckon he tried? I reckon he tried. And I reckon it was pathetic. And I reckon after he tried, he cried. Imagine. Not even having the life skills enough to take your own life. What a fucking worthless, pathetic, subhuman piece of shit.
And, you know, I'll figure something out.
I bet.
Out.
I bet you will.
It just takes time.
That's what you've been saying to your mum all these years, isn't it? I'll figure something out, Mum. It'll just take some time. Yeah. 40 years and neat.
It just takes time, and I got to try new things and see
Yeah.
what works.
Try
see
new
what
things,
doesn't.
Mom.
But
I've got to wear a new hat,
you know, so I
Mum.
do apologize if I miss a stream here
Yeah.
or there. I don't want people to think that
I apologise for missing the stream here and there. I was just crying and avoiding my mum's present as she knocks on the door and goes, Teddy, dinner's ready. Teddy, dinner's ready. Teddy, dinner's ready. Teddy, you there?
Mom, I'm trying new things. I have a range now. I'm not Nick Fuentes, even though I've stolen everything. Mom.
Teddy. Weird going on, but you know, I'm just a person, just a real human being trying my.
He's a real human being, folks.
Shit out.
A real
Not
human
a machine.
being.
I wish
he's not just pixels on a screen. He's a real human being. Not just them pixels on a screen. It's a real human being.
You know, sometimes.
Head looks like a fucking bean, by the way.
But you know what I'm saying.
Big shiny ass bean.
So anyway, we're gonna do. After all that, we're gonna do a tiny bit of A-logging.
Look, default, instant default. In his resignation letter, instant default, because he has nothing, is to literally play a Nick clip. And that's where he comes to life. Look at that smile. Suddenly the man's alive again, because he can see a frame of Nick Fuentes flash on his computer screen. Now he's back, he's re-energized, he's the fucking Duracell bunny doing backflips now. Before he was just sort of hunched over and out of energy. Now they've put a big fat Nick Fuentes-shaped battery in the back of him. And here he goes. Backflipping over America first.
Miss Stormer says, burnt out buddy, maybe book another cruise. Oh no, man, I'm
yeah, maybe your mom should book another cruise, Teddy, that you can join her on, because you got no friends to go with. Maybe your mom can book another cruise, Teddy. Teddy Feezer resigns from the sector. How long do you give him, folks, before he wants to wear Nick's skin again? He's got to try with Hunter Avalo. He's going to try and broaden his range. He's going to Hollywood. He's going to be a star. I bet. All right, so I know we've ran quite a long time, so it's your vote as to whether you want call-ins or not, or we can do call-ins on the next show. I didn't want this to run to such a length, but I felt that we had to do Teddy Feezer and Drink His Blood. So 1 for call-ins, 2 for no. Your vote is now there to be cast. Lots of 2s. People are saying this show has gone far too long. Okay. Well, we'll do call-ins on the next show. Call-ins will be episode 6 of the Kino Casino. So, is it 2 or 1? I mean, there's too many 2s for me to say this is a conclusive one. So there'll be call-ins on the next show. I realise we've taken quite a bit of time, and I didn't want this to become what the Lard and the Tard do on the other side and make it 10 hours long for no reason. But there's your content in a succinct form. The real show. The real McCoy. Authentic experience on Godwinson's Kino Casino. So, I'll join you next time where we do a coronation special to herald in the Carolean Age on episode... Is it 5 or 6? Episode 6 of the Kino Casino. And we will do call-ins. So, take care and juice. Lights will guide little Andy Jr. home. And Andy will ignite his bones as he tries to forget that he executed his child and threw it in a dumpster. Kino ending.